Hi Scorpio, how's it going? I hope you're doing awesome today. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I hope it's not too cold where you are. It's freezing where I live. I'm doing a Celtic cross spread for the end of January to the end of February. These are the cards that came out, so I'll go through them individually. Some of your cards came out reversed. It just means you're getting extra protection from spirit. So Scorpio, let's see. October 23 to November 21st, if we have any cross watchers. Let's talk about Scorpio for a second here. Very intense. Sometimes I'm a Scorpio too, so we can be very intense. We feel everything deeply. No half measures. We're passionate people. We're passionate about love or work, our ideas. If we care, we really care. We're loyal. We're ride or die energy. Once you're in our circle, we are ride or die people. We can be private and mysterious. You don't like to overshare, usually. Trust has to be earned. And we're very intuitive. We are scarily good at reading people and situations. Some of our strengths are we're resilient. We can go through hell and come back even stronger. We're focused and determined. When we want something, we don't stop, we don't quit. Scorpios are very magnetic. People are drawn to Scorpios, even when they're quiet. And they're truth-seeking. Scorpios are truth-seeking. Scorpios don't like surface-level nonsense. But we also have a shadow side, like every zodiac sign. Sometimes we can be a little possessive or jealous. Scorpios can be secretive to a fault. Sometimes a little vindictive if they're betrayed. Sometimes some control issues, maybe a little control issues, and Scorpios can be emotionally guarded. In relationships, they're all in, or none at all. Scorpios need honesty, loyalty, and depth. Casual flings, usually not their thing. And betrayal is a one-strike situation. Scorpios value authenticity, emotional depth, trust, and power over their own life. Now keep that in mind when we do the reading. This is a Celtic cross spread. The first card that came out is the Hermit, reversed. Okay, so this reading again is for the end of January to the end of February. The Hermit reversed represents your current situation. It's a general reading I wanted to mention again. So just take what resonates with you and leave the rest for someone else. So the Hermit reversed is talking about coming out of isolation or being pushed out of it. So you've either been withdrawing for too long, or you avoided an inner truth that you already knew, or you stayed stuck in introspection when it was time to re-engage with the world. The Hermit reversed often means the lesson has already been learned, but you may be hesitating to act on it. Scorpios naturally retreat to process emotions. Okay? Scorpios naturally retreat to process emotions. So this card could suggest you know what needs to change, or you've had the realizations, but fear, pride, or emotional protection is keeping you in limbo. And this can also point to loneliness despite wanting connection, or shutting people out while you're secretly craving closeness. Or it could point to inner guidance being ignored in favor of distraction or avoidance. So, from the end of January to the end of February, Spirit is saying it's time to reconnect with people, or your purpose, or your truth, the truth. Stop overanalyzing. Movement matters now. This card could also indicate a nudge to seek external support, like a mentor or a friend, a therapist or a spiritual guide. On the shadow side, this card could indicate isolation that turned into stagnation, or it could be self-sabotage through avoidance, or it could indicate distrust of others when vulnerability is required. Scorpio, you already have the answers. The next step is stepping back into the world and letting yourself be seen. And that's been coming up a lot in the Scorpio readings, even the ones that other videos that I watch, other Scorpio videos from other YouTubers that I watch, they keep repeating the same message again, letting yourself be seen. So I would make a note of that. Then the second card is what's crossing you, or what's challenging you, or your situation, or what you're celebrating. And you got the moon reversed. This card is saying that illusions are dissolving, but you might not like what you're seeing. This can function in two ways. See what resonates with you. As a challenge, this card could be saying that the truth is coming out, either about a person, a situation, or yourself. Or fear, anxiety, or denial is being exposed. Or emotional confusion is lifting, but clarity can feel uncomfortable. Or old subconscious patterns are surfacing and demanding release. So maybe you ignored red flags, or you stayed in the dark on purpose, or you avoided facing a fear you already sensed. So the challenge is accepting reality without retreating back into isolation. And if you're celebrating something, it could be relief after emotional fog, or finally understanding why something felt off. Or this card could indicate validation of intuition, you know, that saying to yourself, you weren't crazy energy for, like you weren't, your intuition is being validated. What your intuition was telling you, you're being validated. Okay? I wasn't crazy energy, you know? I wasn't losing my mind. What I felt and what my intuition was telling me was right. Or this card could also indicate that you're breaking free from anxiety, illusions, or self-deception. So in this sense, the moon reversed is pushing you out of the hermit reversed state and forcing engagement with truth instead of hiding. You're done hiding, Scorpio. You're done hiding from yourself or from the truth. The fog is lifting. The question is, will you step forward or will you pull back again? The Hermit and the Moon card together suggests inner work has already happened, or subconscious truths are rising, or avoidance is no longer an option. Scorpio, you rule the hidden, the taboo, the psychological depths. So the moon reversed here is like turning the lights on in a locked basement. There may be secrets revealed, emotional patterns exposed, a realization about trust, betrayal, or self-worth. Scorpio, you're coming out of a period of isolation just as clarity arrives. The challenge is trusting what you now see and not retreating when the truth feels uncomfortable. And then your third card is the Hanged Man reversed. This card represents the basis of your situation or foundation. At the root of your situation is prolonged stagnation and a refusal to surrender any longer. So this card reverse could suggest feeling stuck for a long time, or waiting, sacrificing, or pausing with no payoff, or it could suggest a sense of you've given enough, or you can't keep putting your life on hold. The reversed Hanged Man can often point to resisting necessary change, or finally deciding to stop waiting and reclaim momentum. So with the Hermit reversed, it talks about isolation that's outlived its purpose. The Moon reversed represents truth surfacing whether you're ready or not. At the core, Scorpio, you are exhausted by limbo. You don't want to sacrifice without clarity. You don't want to sit in uncertainty. You don't want to keep seeing things from someone else's perspective while ignoring your own needs. Scorpio, you're all about transformation, but transformation requires surrender. Here, the reversed Hanged Man says, you've already surrendered enough. Now you want movement. This can show up as impatience or frustration or a sudden decisive shift after months or even longer of stillness. So it can look like you can frame it like this. At the foundation, that you're being stuck. The foundation is about being stuck and done with waiting. The Hermit, the current situation, the Hermit reversed is about pulling away, questioning isolation. And then what's crossing you, the Moon reversed? This is about truth and clarity, breaking through illusions. Scorpio, you've reached a breaking point. The waiting period is over. The fog is lifting, and hiding is no longer sustainable. But we have to look at the shadow side, the shadow warnings. Spirit is saying, be careful acting too quickly just to escape discomfort. Could be a problem. Acting too quickly just to escape discomfort could cause a problem, or forcing movement before integrating the lesson is also a warning, or swinging from total stillness to impulsive action could cause a problem. You're not meant to stay suspended anymore. Clarity is coming. Just use it to move forward, not to run. Okay? Your fourth card is the Eight of Swords. This card represents your past, but is relevant to your current situation. This card shows you coming out of a period of mental imprisonment. In the past, you may have felt trapped by circumstances or a relationship or your own thoughts. Or you may have felt powerless or unable to act. Or you felt afraid to make the wrong move. Or you felt stuck in self-doubt, anxiety, or overthinking. The cage was mostly internal. You could have moved, but fear, confusion, or outside influence made you believe you couldn't. So the Eight of Swords is saying, maybe you thought you can't move, you're stuck. The Hanged Man is saying that you've waited long enough. The Hermit reversed is saying you can't hide in this anymore. And the Moon reversed is saying the truth is clear now. Scorpio, this isn't new. Scorpio isn't new to feeling trapped. They're just tired of it. This could have been a relationship with power imbalance, or a job, or a responsibility that drained you. Or it could have been emotional manipulation or gaslighting or harsh self-judgment keeping you frozen. Because you feel deeply, this mental trap likely lasted longer than it should have. But once you see the exit, you won't go back. Okay? You don't go back. You're not as stuck as you think. The mental blocks are dissolving. The clarity is the key to freedom. You may still feel trapped out of habit. Old fears could resurface when you try to move. Scorpio, you've been mentally stuck and afraid to act, but that period is ending. You're done waiting. The truth is becoming undeniable. And isolation is no longer serving you. This spread is screaming liberation through clarity. Okay. And then your immediate future, what's likely to happen very soon in your life, is the Ace of Pentacles. Scorpio, very soon you are going to be offered a real, tangible, new beginning. This isn't vague or emotional. It's practical, grounded, and actionable. It could be a new job, a new role, or an income opportunity. It's a concrete offer or commitment. It's a chance to build stability after chaos. It's a seed that can grow into long-term security. It's especially powerful after all those reversed major arcana cards and the Eight of Swords. This says the breakthrough doesn't stay in your mind. It shows up in real life. Okay? If we connect the dots now, starting with the Eight of Swords, the past, mentally trapped, mental trap. The Hanged Man, the Foundation, you're done waiting. The Hermit, reverse, the present, you're emerging from isolation. The Moon, reversed, what's crossing you, clarity, and the truth is revealed. And then the Ace of Pentacles, a solid new path opens up. Once you stop overthinking, Scorpio, and accept the truth, the universe meets you with a physical opportunity. This is the first step out of stagnation. You don't trust easily. And the Ace of Pentacles is saying, you don't need to leap. Just say yes to the small, real thing in front of you. It's the opposite of the Eight of Swords. It's going from I can't to I can start. This ace is a seed, not the full harvest. It requires effort, consistency, and belief. Don't let old fears talk you out of it. If you hesitate too long, the offer can pass. But if you act, this becomes the foundation of something lasting. Scorpio, the moment you step out of fear and confusion, a real opportunity presents itself, something that you can build on. And then the outcome that you desire most in your situation is the Ten of Cups reversed. At the heart, Scorpio, you want emotional truth over emotional fantasy. You're no longer chasing the picture-perfect, happily ever after. What you do want is authentic, emotional fulfillment, or peace without pretending, or relationships that are real, not performative, or happiness that actually fits who you are now. This card, reversed, says you don't want the dream if it isn't real. You were trapped by fear and expectations. You're done sacrificing for others. You're stepping out of isolation. Illusions dissolve. A new grounded beginning is starting soon. And you're redefining happiness on your own terms. Scorpio, you are walking away from false harmony or forced togetherness. You're walking away from staying in situations for the sake of peace. You're moving toward emotional honesty, smaller, truer connections, or fulfillment that doesn't require self-betrayal. Scorpio loves deeply, but they refuse to fake happiness. Okay? Scorpio loves deeply, but you refuse to fake happiness. This card can reflect choosing solitude over a hollow relationship, or wanting emotional alignment rather than approval, or accepting that happiness might look different than expected. It's not heartbreak, Scorpio, it's emotional maturity. But on the shadow side, you might be afraid that you might fear that true happiness doesn't exist, or you may feel emotionally burned. This card reverse can represent emotional burnout or cynicism from past disappointment. That's why the Ace of Pentacles is so important. It reminds you that joy starts with one real step, not a perfect ending. Scorpio, you're no longer striving for a fantasy version of happiness. You're choosing emotional honesty, even if it means rewriting what fulfillment looks like. This reading has such a strong theme of truth, then grounding, then authentic joy. And then your seventh card, your self-image card, how you see yourself. Of course, the Death card. There's you, Scorpio, showing up in your reading. It came out reversed. This doesn't mean literal death. It's about resistance to transformation. So Scorpio, this card is saying, when it comes out reversed, that you see yourself as someone who is either stuck in old patterns, or has someone who is hesitant to fully let go of the past, or someone who is resistant to major change, even when it's necessary, or it could be caught between wanting growth and fearing the unknown. You might feel you should be moving forward, but you just can't. This ties beautifully to the Hanged Man reversed and the Eight of Swords. You know change is coming, but part of you is holding back. You're trying to emerge from isolation with the Hermit reversed, Truth is surfacing, forcing you to confront your fear with the moon reversed. A new opportunity is ready, but you need to act with the Ace of Pentacles. You want authentic emotional fulfillment as your desired outcome with the Ten of Cups reversed. So this card is saying internally you might feel unready for the change or that you're not enough to handle it yet. But externally the cards are pushing you forward. Scorpio, you often identify with control and transformation. So when this card comes out reversed, the Death card, it could be saying that you feel you've lost control or you're resisting a personal metamorphosis. Or it could say there's a fear of letting go. A fear of letting go clashes with your desire for growth. Or you might cling to comfort zones, old relationships, or self-limiting beliefs. It's like an internal tug of war between your innate power to transform and a lingering fear of the unknown. Scorpio, you see yourself as caught between endings and beginnings. Part of you wants to move forward, but another part fears letting go of the past. But the truth is, change is already in motion, and embracing it will bring you closer to what you truly desire. And then your 8th card represents your environment or how others see you in your situation. And you got the 5 of Swords. This card is all about conflict, tension, or competition. It's a feeling like someone wins at the expense of someone else. Or it's about arguments, ego clashes, or passive-aggressive energy. So in the environment position, this could suggest others around you may see you as involved in conflict, or people may be judging your choices or questioning your moves. Or Scorpio, you could be surrounded by manipulation, rivalry, or unresolved tension. Or you might feel like you're being outmaneuvered by others. It doesn't necessarily mean you're doing anything wrong. It's often about perception or the environment's energy, not absolute reality. So, your self-image, you feel stuck or resistant to change. Your environment, others may see you as embroiled in drama or conflict. Your past and your foundation, internal struggles have made you cautious. Your present and what's crossing you, you're emerging from isolation. Truths are being revealed. Your future, there's going to be an opportunity for grounded progress. Your desired outcome is emotional authenticity. So externally, you might feel judged or challenged, even as you're trying to step forward. It's a card of tension that can either motivate or distract. Scorpio, you're naturally intense, so people may misread your self-reflection as aloofness or secrecy or defensiveness. This card, the Five of Swords, in your environment suggests gossip, office politics, or interpersonal tension may be around. Maybe you feel that everyone is against you, even if it's more subtle. And this could trigger your protective, strategic instincts. Scorpio, people around you may not fully understand your journey. Some tension or competition exists in your environment, but it's not meant to hold you back. It's a reflection of their perception, not your truth. Focus on what's real and actionable in front of you. And then your hopes and fears, what you hope for and or fear the most in your situation, is the Four of Swords. This card is about rest, retreat, and recuperation. But in this position, it shows a dual-edged energy. Your hopes and fears. So you may fear you're being forced to act too soon before you're ready, or you may fear burnout or overwhelm if you step into new opportunities too quickly, or you may fear making the wrong choice or failing to protect yourself, or you may fear feeling you have no time to process everything that's happened. It's the fear of moving into action before you've fully healed or understood your own needs. And at the same time, you hope for a pause to gather your strength and clarity. You hope for mental and emotional restoration after past stress. You hope for a moment to reflect and regain control before making big life moves. Or you hope for peace after conflict or confusion in your environment. So, you felt mentally trapped. You're ready to move now after waiting. You're emerging from isolation. The truth is revealed. A new opportunity is going to present itself. There's external tension. There's a fear of transformation. Your desired outcome is authentic happiness. This card shows that you're caught between wanting to rest and needing to act. You hope for stability and clarity, but you fear rushing or making the wrong move. You naturally go deep, but you often neglect rest and reflection. So this card is a reminder that strategic pause is not weakness. Or you may fear vulnerability, but you crave internal peace before fully engaging with the world. You hope for a moment to rest and gather your strength, but you also fear that taking this pause might hold you back from the opportunities unfolding. But Spirit is saying, remember, reflection now can set you up for real progress later. And then your last card is the Eight of Cups. This card represents the outcome if all is to remain as is. So this card is all about walking away, leaving something behind that no longer serves you, even if it's familiar or comfortable. It could suggest the status quo won't continue indefinitely. Change is inevitable internally, even if the external situation hasn't fully shifted yet. You're likely to emotionally disengage from what no longer fulfills you, even if outwardly nothing seems different at first. It's a voluntary departure. You choose what to leave behind rather than being forced. You're walking away from unfulfilling patterns, consciously leaving the past behind. Scorpio, you've been trapped by fear and mental blocks, but clarity is emerging. Externally, tension exists, and internally, you resist change while hoping to rest and recover. A tangible opportunity appears, but the ultimate desire is authentic, emotional fulfillment. The final outcome is conscious, emotional departure from what no longer serves, even if everything around you seems unchanged. This is the classic Scorpio energy, transformative, deliberate, and emotionally intelligent. You won't settle for comfort at the cost of authenticity. Walking away doesn't mean failure, Scorpio. It's reclaiming power and setting the stage for meaningful new beginnings. You're stepping out of mental and emotional traps, Scorpio. You're facing the truth. You're consciously walking away from what no longer serves you so that you can embrace authentic opportunities and emotional fulfillment. So that is your reading, Scorpio. I hope this resonated with you. I hope it gave you some insight or guidance. If it does, let me know. I would love to hear from you. I'm sending you lots of love and strength. You've got this. No problem. We've got this. I'm a Scorpio too. We got this. We're going to do what's best for us. Right? Stay strong, Scorpio. Take care. Bye.